Hey guys, this is Smudge, and this is the DCS F86 Sabre. I've just literally purchased this. This is the first time I've sat in it. Have to say, I have no idea what I'm in for. I've never flown this aircraft before, and so far there are no tutorials available. I've seen one video on how to start it, and that's it. So this is just me sat in this plane and trying to get it to fly. Let's see if we can get it to go. Now, one thing I have done, I have been into the controls and set my controls so that I know that the stick works and the throttle works, the rudder works and the brakes work. So hopefully we can make this thing go. Now, like I said, I have seen one video on how to start the engine, but it's not something I've done yet, so let's see if we can give this a go. So let's just have a look at this. So right, the first thing is switch on ground power, so talk to the ground crew and request ground power to be switched on. So let's do that now.
Copy. Ground power is now on.
Okay, so there we go. We got power apparently. Oops, got something floating in the hood there. Ooh, lights! Look at that. That's amazing. What do we have here? Lots of switches. I have no idea what they do, so let's not push or pull on any of the red ones because I'm sure they do bad things. Okay, that looks like radio panels. That's the engine panel, I know that much. Undercarriage. That looks like jettisons for fuel tanks and bombs apparently. Okay. Flap switch, throttle. What's that for? Brakes. Okay. What about back here? I like levers. Levers normally do good things. So, right. Let's have a look at this. So, let's close up those. No, they're not moving yet. Okay. So, let's have a look. Ooh, noise. So, that's starting up. Throttle into the first indent, start the turbines moving. Wait till the exhaust to settle, then press it again into throttle idle. Then hopefully the engine should start. Fuel flow's climbing, that's a good thing. Engine exhaust temperature looks a little high, but that should hopefully come down. Generators on, everything seems to be okay there.
Chief, turn off the ground power.
Switch off the ground power, or otherwise we get a nice telling off by the ground crew. Flaps down.
Ground power is now off.
Stem down. Okay. That's interesting. So now if we press that, that should close the brakes. Cool. And Control C should, watch your head, close the canopy. How about that? Mirrors. Angle indicators, that's handy. Right, now let's see if this thing will roll forward. Kick the brakes. Okay. So that's annoying. It seems as though my brakes are slightly reversed, so let's just adjust those slightly. So it'll be access commands. Wheel brake left. Let's access tune, and then we just, let's have a look. Invert. Okie dokie, so let's power up and see if this rolls. And we're moving, how about that? think that you have to hold down the nose wheel steering button. Let's hold that down and see if this thing will turn. And it is, look at that. Touch the brakes a bit. And we're moving. Oops, let go of the nose wheel steering button, that wasn't very clever. Okay, so you've got to keep the nose wheel steering button held down in order to actually turn. That's a good thing to know. I think the runway should be closest on this side, so let's go this way. Ugh, just get myself comfortable. Let's have to duck down a bit there to see through the old gun sight. Nice gentle taxi out here. Okay, so let's have a look what we've got here. So we've got a Mach meter, speed and knots, directional compass, artificial horizon, roll and climb indicator, radio compass, altimeter, clock, volts, and other stuff that doesn't really matter. Fuel quantity, that's an important one. Don't want to run out of fuel. So I'm running this thing on high. I think it looks pretty decent. It's not quite edge, but that'll hopefully be out soon, and then it'll look really, really nice. Must remember to hold down the nose wheel steering key. Oops. Oh dear, going all over the place here, that's no good. And how about that? Something kind of went pop there, I think. She seems to be okay, no real damage there. First experiencing paying attention when taxiing. So let's get back on the old taxiway here and see if we can actually make it to the runway in one piece. Wouldn't that be something? God damn it. It's that damn nose wheel steering key. Keep letting go of that thing. Let's spin this around and see if we can get back on the old taxiway. It takes a little while to turn. I wonder if braking helps. Let's have a look. So that's locking the left brake. Helps a little bit. Turns a little bit more on the spot. Let go of the nose wheel steering key again. That's going to be the bane of my life, I can tell already. So it takes a while to centre the nose wheel steering as well. That's going to get some getting used to. It's definitely not like the F-15 or the other aircraft in the game. That the nose wheel steering seems to set to pretty much straight away. I have no idea what any of the other buttons and switches in this thing do, so I'm not going to prod them. I'm just going to see if I can have a bit of a fly about, just make sure this thing flies in a straight line, and then see if we can land in one piece. I think that would be a successful mission for myself. Okay, so let's start slowing down here a bit, because I don't want to throw it off the taxiway. And, let me steer over. Oops. And then the runway, finally here. I'm not bothering with the radio communications at the moment, simply because I can't be bothered. And I'm the only one playing, so it's not like I've got other people to worry about who are coming in to take off and land. So, okay, so nose wheel steering off. We're rolling slightly, so let's increase throttle here and see if we can get this thing in the air without killing ourselves. Okay, there goes the throttle percentage, climbing up nice and healthily. Let's push up to full power. Climbing up quite nicely here. It's about 100 knots, so it's Start easing back on the stick slightly here, see if we can get something. And we're airborne. Look at that. So let's get the undercarriage up. Nice positive rate of climb there. That's interesting. Why aren't you coming up? Okay, so there's a thing. Nose wheel gearing's yeah, nose wheel gear's kind of stuck down. That's it's a bit of a bite, a bit of a bother. Let's bring them all down again. Okie dokie. So I don't know if that's my fault why that hasn't come up, or if that's something else. But it looks like we're going to have to fly around a little bit with the old gear sticking down, which is going to cause a few issues here. Ooh, she's wallowy. I best put those flaps down again. Nice trail of shit coming out the exhaust there as well. Looks like the nose wheel gearing isn't aligned. That may be what's causing it not to go up, but let's give it another go here. No, she's definitely not going up. Okay then. Well, that's a bother. I wonder if there's an override control for that. Let's have a look. So that's and what's that say? Landing gear emergency up. Press that, see what goes on there. Nope. Okay, so that's me flying around. I mean, it might have been something to do with that little incident on a taxiway there. Yeah, let's put flaps about halfway just so that we're not all over the sky. What's our speed doing at the moment? Just under 200. I wouldn't want to go any further than that. Any faster than that with the undercarriage down. I don't think that would be too healthy. Nice mirror, you know, have a look in there, just check your makeup, you know, yep. Lipstick, eyeshadow, everything's looking good there, so I'll put that thing away. We'll see if we can bring it back around and see if we can land this thing without killing ourselves, eh? And then hopefully on take 2 we might manage to get in the air without something going horribly wrong. That's a nice healthy view coming out the back there. You wouldn't miss this thing flying past you in a hurry. Tell you one thing though, she's quite twitchy. Let's try something a bit silly here anyway. Let's see how fast she rolls. Nice roll right there. Would be nice to see how fast this thing can go, but I'm not going to try it with the old undercarriage hanging out. I think that would be pretty bad for my heart. Pretty upset about that, but hey, no shit happens. And it doesn't seem to want to steer either, even with the nose wheel steering button held down. So, but hey, we'll chalk that one up to experience. Tell you one thing as well, I don't really want to land with outboard tanks attached. That could go horribly wrong. So let's see if we can drop those fuckers. Is that right? Heat? No, that's wrong. Let's have a look. So that's outboard, that might be inboard. So let's get that out. That's a nice healthy chunk. And there you go. So that's just a bit lighter. In fact, let's trim forward a bit. Okay, let's put the undercarriage down again. And hopefully we can land in one piece. Silly control thing going on there. I think it's because it's set to an axis maybe. There we go. down. I suppose with it being the first flight, you can't really, can't really grumble too much. At least I'm in the air. That's the main thing. And just if you're wondering, the controls I'm using, I do have a CH Warthog, which I'm using, which is quite a heavy stick, but it's got enough buttons on me, or enough buttons for me anyway, so I can pretty much do everything that I need to do in the aircraft HOTAS. So. Alrighty, let's start slowing this fucker down a bit. So it's, one thing I have read about this is that it's very slow on the uptake at minimum engine power, so for landing what they suggest is putting the air brakes out with a higher throttle setting in order to maintain the speed. So let's give that a go, and brakes should be out now, and they certainly appear to be. So let's see if we can't, we're a bit high here, so I might have to see if we can't lose a bit of airspeed in the drop here. So we'll just start skidding down and see if we can keep it down to a sensible speed. It's definitely a slippery aircraft. It wants to build speed in a dive quite quickly. And I really don't know what this little flashing red light thing here is. Ah, there we go. That makes that go away. That's handy enough. Okie dokie, so let's see if we can't lose a little bit more altitude here. Still doing about 200 knots, so I need to be doing about half of that. Okay, so I'm throttle idle, got the brakes wide open. And speed's starting to come down now anyway, that's handy. Start trim forwarding again. Nose seems to want to climb constantly. It's probably because of the flaps being all the way down, and I suppose that doesn't help. 150 knots, that sounds about right to me. Apparently you want to land about 120 knots. So I'm sure as we start to flare as we're coming down the ramp here, then that should start bleeding off airspeed quite nicely. Runway's looking good there, so I'm going to start leveling off here. Apply a bit more power just to keep the speed up. I am concerned because it looks as though the nose gear's off at a bit of an angle here, so we might end up rolling all over the place. A bit more power. Keep the nose up. And kill power and... Ooh, okay. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. And we're down, kind of. Nose wheel steering wouldn't re-engage there, and the brakes seem to be all over the place, so that's got us to have a little bit of a minor accident there, but I'd say that's, you know, kind of slightly fairly successful first flight. Managed to get in the air, and that's always always a positive, so I'm going to leave this here and then see where I've gone wrong and see if we can refly this. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. This is Smudge signing off.